All right, some latest news coming in, and this is about Maulana Saad. These are the first visuals of Tablighi Jamaat chief Maulana Saad. He was seen offering prayers at Delhi's Abu Bakr Mosque. An FIR has been lodged against Maulana Saad under the Epidemic Disease Act 1897, and this is for leading a religious congregation at the Nizamuddin Markaz in Delhi between 13th and 15th of March amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Tablighi Jamaat chief is yet to submit himself for questioning by Delhi police, though he has responded to the notices served by the Delhi police. The Enforcement Directorate has also registered a money laundering case against him. Meanwhile, the process of deporting foreign Tablighis who had come into India for the Jamaat has also begun. My colleague from News 18, Shankar Anand, is joining us live with more details on the story. Shankar, अभी तक किस तरह की जांच और कार्यवाही हुई है मौलाना साद के अगेंस्ट, वो बताइए। और दिल्ली पुलिस ने उनको जो नोटिस सर्व किए थे, क्या उन नोटिस का जवाब दिया है उन्होंने?
देखिए, मौलाना साद के खिलाफ दिल्ली पुलिस के क्राइम ब्रांच और केंद्रीय जांच एजेंसी ईडी, इन दोनों जांच एजेंसियों ने बाकायदा मामला दर्ज किया था। लेकिन इस मामले में कई बार जब नोटिस भेजा गया था मौलाना साद को, लेकिन वो उस वक्त में लगातार बहानेबाजी करता रहा। वो कहा कि वो अभी फिलहाल अपने घर में क्वारंटाइन है और लगभग कई महीने बीत चुके हैं, लेकिन अभी तक वो जाँच एजेंसियों के सामने हाजिर नहीं हुआ है। यहाँ तक कि क्राइम ब्रांच की टीम ने कहा था कि इस मामले पर आपको सरकारी अस्पताल में कोरोना से संबंधित जो आप जांच करवाइए और उसके बाद उस प्रमाण पत्र को लेके आइए, उसके बाद आगे की जांच प्रक्रिया होगी। लेकिन अभी तक मौलाना साद के द्वारा वो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं दिया गया है। और इस मामले में कहीं न कहीं जिस तरह से वो आप सरेआम घूम रहे हैं, जिस तरह से कल भी उनको जाकिर नगर इलाके में वहाँ पर एक मस्जिद में जाकर नमाज पढ़ते हुए देखा गया, तकरीबन 10-20 लोगों के साथ में वो थे। तो कहीं न कहीं यहाँ पे जो सवाल उठता है दिल्ली पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच पे भी कि अभी तक इस मामले में उसकी गिरफ्तारी क्यों नहीं हुई, क्योंकि मौलाना साद के खिलाफ एफआईआर रजिस्टर्ड है, उनके खिलाफ अभी तक कोई भी कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है। और इसके साथ साथ अगर बात करें दूसरी जांच एजेंसी ईडी की बात करें, तो ईडी भी इस मामले में कई लोगों से अभी तक पूछताछ कर चुकी है और इस मामले में अब जल्दी ईडी भी इस मामले में मौलाना साद को नोटिस भेजने वाली है पूछताछ के लिए, और पूछताछ के लिए उसके बाद ईडी दफ्तर में उसको बुला करके पूछताछ किया जाएगा। लेकिन जिस तरह से हालात की अगर बात करें, इस मामले में तबलीगी जमात से जुड़े हुए काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां क्राइम ब्रांच के पास में पहले से उपलब्ध है। लेकिन अब वो देखना लाजमी होगा कि वो तारीख कब होगी, वो तारीख क्या होगी जिसमें कि मौलाना साद को बुला करके फिर से पूछताछ की प्रक्रिया को पूरी की जाएगी।
अगर उनके ऊपर जो केस दर्ज किया गया है, इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने भी अपनी तरफ से एक मुकदमा दर्ज किया है मौलाना साद के अगेंस्ट, आप हमें ये बताइए कि कौन कौन सी धाराएं हैं जो उनके खिलाफ लगाई गई हैं, कितना संगीन मामला है जो उनके अगेंस्ट बनता है?
देखिए, मामला तो वाकई में काफ़ी संगीन है कि जिस वक्त में विदेश से काफ़ी तबलीगी जमात से जुड़े हुए लोग आए थे, उसके बारे में कई महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियों को छुपाया गया और किस तरह से वहाँ पे कोरोना संक्रमण वहाँ पे जिस तरह से बाकायदा वहाँ पे फैलाया गया, तो इस मामले की जानकारी होने के बावजूद सही तरीके से जानकारी नहीं दी गई। और दूसरा, जिस तरह से बाकायदा यहाँ पर देखा गया कोरोना संक्रमण फैलाने का जो एक मामला जो जिस तरह से उसके मामले में मामला दर्ज हुआ, इसके साथ साथ कई महत्वपूर्ण और बड़े मामलों के तहत मामला दर्ज किया गया था, जिसमें कि बताया गया था कि किस तरह से मौलाना साद जो है एक जानबूझकर एक सोची समझी साजिश के तहत इस तरह के मामले को अंजाम दिया गया है। लेकिन इस मामले पर जिस तरह से दिल्ली पुलिस के क्राइम ब्रांच की जो एक सुस्त रवैया है वो सामने देखने को मिल रहा है कि पिछले काफ़ी दिनों के बाद तक अभी तक मौलाना साद से ना औपचारिक तौर पर पूछताछ हो पाई है, ना ही गिरफ्तारी हो पाई है। हालांकि अगर वक्त की बात करें तो लगभग 3 महीने बीतने को चले हैं जब से ये एफआईआर रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है, लेकिन अभी तक मौलाना साद की ना पूछताछ हुई है, ना ही उसकी गिरफ्तारी हुई है, जबकि वो जाकिर नगर स्थित आवास पे वहाँ मौजूद भी है और नमाज पढ़ने के लिए बाहर भी निकल रहा है।
Nitisha Kashyap is also joining us on the broadcast. Nitisha, why don't you put some facts on record? The whereabouts of Maulana Saad, were they known all along to the Delhi police? Because a perception also goes in that he has been evasive towards the process of law.
Well, see, he has never been evasive to the process of law. Why? Because Delhi Police crime branch, although they have registered an FIR against the Epidemic Act and also other sections where they have mentioned that he did not maintain the social distancing norm. But we cannot say that he has been evasive with the law because 2 notices under 91 CRPC was sent. Now, if we talk about what is 91 CRPC, it simply means that the investigative agency have sent some questions which the accused or the suspect has to reply to. It never says that they have to, come to the police station or they have to join the investigation with the investigator. Okay. It simply says that the investigative agencies have sent some questions that they have to reply, and crime branch sent two notices under 91 CRPC. Both of them were replied by Maulana Saad. And in fact, Delhi police said that if they have any further query, they will again send notice under the same section. But also, the investigative agencies have searched his other residence, his farmhouse, but they never said that they have called in the Maulana Saad and he has not joined. That would be incorrect. In fact, yesterday also when he went to offer the prayers, Friday prayers, the local police was well aware. He has been at his residence since the time this pandemic broke, and also that area was sealed. Remember that in the Nizamuddin Basti, after 70 days, that area has been decontained. So calling him at the time of pandemic, at the time where in the situation where he is he's staying is a hot spot.
Nidesha, I also want to take all these points to Arunima, who's with us on the broadcast. Arunima, Nidesha is pointing out that the whereabouts of Maulana Saad, the fact that he was going to offer prayers, all of this has been known to the Delhi police. At no point so far one can say that he was called in or did not respond. If you look at the legal case which has been made out against him, how does the trajectory go forward?
See, the facts of the case, Nitisha has already pointed out, there is an FIR against him, and there is an FIR to suggest that the way the Tablighi Jamaat congregation was conducted, it led to the spread of the coronavirus. The Epidemic Act has been evoked there. In fact, a lot of the attendees, not just Maulana Saad, but a lot of the foreign Tablighis also were detained here, and it's only now that the Ministry of Home Affairs has started the process of deporting them, because they were from countries which are friendly towards India. There was pressure on the Indian government. So on the one hand, that is happening. On the other is the reality about the investigation against Maulana Saad. The fact is that when this investigation began, there was a lot of public scrutiny. The police was under a lot of pressure because of the kind of mood that had been created in the country. And I think the police officers also felt that in this kind of a background, and impartial investigation may be difficult. There could be a threat to his security as well, because there was so much of negativity channeled around the Tablighi Jamaat congregation. They were accused of being the super spreader, carrying the coronavirus elsewhere. Maybe that could be one of the reasons why notices were sent under CRPC sections, and answers were demanded. His lawyer claims that those answers were given, and now that he's been seen in public offering namaz, it's for the Delhi police to really answer if they feel that in the course of their investigation they need to have a custodial interrogation of him, or they need to have a face-to-face questioning of him, or the answers that he has given are good enough. But those are the facts of the case as we know so far.
All right. My colleague Shankar Anand is also with us. He's been getting us all this very important details about the fact that Maulana Saad was seen offering prayers. Shankar, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, अभी तक उनके खिलाफ जो केस है, अरुणिमा हमें ये बता रही हैं कि इसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है, किस तरह के चार्जेस उन पे प्रेस किए गए हैं. आगे दिल्ली पुलिस की किस तरीके की कार्यवाही हो सकती है? क्या उनको बुलाकर पूछताछ करने का है या उनके अरेस्ट के लिए प्रेस करेंगे? क्या अभी तक कोई भी इस तरीके का एक्शन दिल्ली पुलिस की तरफ से आया है या आने वाला है?
देखिए, दिल्ली पुलिस के क्राइम ब्रांच में हमारे जो सूत्र बता रहे हैं कि दिल्ली पुलिस के क्राइम ब्रांच के कई अधिकारी और कर्मचारी जो हैं वो खुद अभी कोरोना पॉजिटिव हो चुके हैं. इसी बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए अभी अपने दफ्तर में उनको नहीं बुलाया जा रहा है, लेकिन आने वाले 3 से 4 दिन के अंदर में ही फिर से उनको नोटिस भेजा जाएगा मौलाना साद को, और उसके बाद पूछताछ के लिए बुलाया जाएगा. तो जिस स्थान पे बुलाया जाएगा वो उस स्थान को भी पहले से क्वारंटाइन उसको सैनिटाइज किया जाएगा, और जिस जगह पे उनको बुलाया जाएगा प्रशांत विहार थाना जो है बस उसके पास में ही क्राइम ब्रांच का दफ्तर है, उस जगह पे बुला करके पूछताछ की जाएगी. और इस मामले में जो केंद्रीय जांच एजेंसी ईडी की अगर बात करें तो ईडी भी इस मामले में जल्द ही पूछताछ के लिए नोटिस भेजने की तैयारी कर रही है. और अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही हमारे ईडी के जो सूत्र हैं उन्होंने बताया है कि इस मामले में जल्द ही उसे पूछताछ के लिए नोटिस भेजा जाएगा, और उसके बाद बुला करके उसे मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट के तहत जो उसके खिलाफ मामला दर्ज किया गया था उस मामलों पर बाकायदा पूछताछ की जाएगी. और अगर मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्ट की बात करें तो कई जो उसकी संपत्ति, यहाँ तक कि देश और विदेश में जो उसकी संपत्तियाँ हैं, उसके बैंक अकाउंट्स हैं, उससे जुड़े तमाम मामलों पर बाकायदा पूछताछ की जाएगी. तो सवालों की जो फहरिस्त है वो पहले से तैयार की जा रही है. तो अगर बात करें ईडी की बात करें या क्राइम ब्रांच की बात करें, अब दोनों एजेंसी जो है अब इस मामले पर काफ़ी एक्टिव हो चुकी है, और जल्द ही इस मामले में आगे पूछताछ के लिए मौलाना साद और उससे जुड़े हुए तमाम लोगों को नोटिस भेजा जाएगा, और उसके बाद बुला करके पूछताछ की प्रक्रिया को पूर्ण किया जाएगा. जी.
RP Singh of the BJP is also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, Maulana Saad, so far what Nitisha, my colleague who tracks the Delhi police, and Shankar is also pointing out that the case is being built against him. But so far there has been no attempt made to arrest him or seek a custodial interrogation. Going forward, what is the sort of action you think should be taken against Maulana Saad?
Anusha, I'm very hopeful Delhi police will surely take action against him. One. Secondly, right now priority is Corona, not the Corona Saad. So it's a matter of time. He'll be taken for custody if need be, and he will call for interrogation. Even your ground reporter is saying that he has to go to interrogation at some police station. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, he won't be left free.
Talking about the responsibility of religious congregations, you have seen that right now a lot of states across the country, most of the states across the country have opened religious places of worship. One of the fear is that religious congregations can once again happen. Tablighi is an incident that is a grim reminder for all of us that due precautions should be taken.
See, when Tablighi happened, I mean, they knew there's a problem, and even then they had a gathering and huge gathering under one roof. Now, once all these places of worship have been open, they've been opened with a caution. I mean, and then, as I know,
Hopefully,
that there's proper distancing maintained, sanitization being done, and also I must appreciate it. The Jama Masjid Imam has again probably seeking to close the masjid again, keeping in mind the Corona.
That's right. Mr. R.P. Singh, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your views on this very important story. As my colleague Shankar Anand, Nitisha and Arunima are pointing out that there is a case which is being made against him. Let me try and cut across to Nitisha, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Nitisha, can you give us more specific details of the sections which have been slapped against Maulana Saad, and how serious are those sections? What is usually the procedure which is followed under these sections? Imminent arrest is something that the accused is staring at?
Well, see, Anusha, in fact, apart from, as Shankar was pointing out, that apart from ED and crime branch, there is also a PE against the organizers of Tablighi Jamaat by the CBI. That we shouldn't be forgetting. So three agencies, Delhi Police, the ED and the CBI, all three agencies are looking at this particular case very minutely. Talking about the crime branch and the sections, the major section in the case is under Section 188, that is the epidemic under the and also the Epidemic Act. So what the Delhi Police right now is saying that as part of their investigation, and also they have submitted the report in the High Court as well. That as part of their, investigation, they have sent notices to Maulana Saad, which have been replied. Of course, in some of the replies, there were confusions. That's why they sent the second notice. Apart from that, if we talk about the investigation in the case so far, and what is with respect, especially with respect to Maulana Saad, the team of crime branch, they went to Maulana Saad's farmhouse as well to find out some documents. It was not because he was absconding or he was evading the law, because he has replied to all the notices well within the time. Now, talking about why he has not been called for a custodial interrogation or investigation for that matter, that is mostly because of the pandemic and also the area in which he lives. After 70 days, that area has been decontained, and even now the outsiders are not allowed to go there, and a particular time has been decided during which time only the residents of that area has to come out to purchase the essential commodities. Now, apart from that, if we talk about why he has not been asked to join the custodial investigation, it's also because his corona report, according to the crime branch, has to come from a government.
So pandemic is one of the reasons that the Delhi police, so far as Nitisha is pointing out, has not sought a custodial interrogation. Let's wait and watch how is the legal proceeding that progresses against him. Some more latest news coming in. Now, barely 3 hours from the state capital of Jaipur, the village council of Karauli held a massive panchayat gathering where no social distancing was followed. These are the visuals that we are showing you from Karauli, Rajasthan. Hundreds gathered for the meeting and sat in close proximity with each other. This even as Rajasthan government has sealed its border in the wake of rising number of COVID cases, making it the 5th worst affected state in the country. So the question arises, how did the local administration allow this to happen? My colleague Bhavani is with us on the broadcast. भवानी, पहले आप हमें ये बताइए कि डिटेल्स क्या हैं। करौली राजस्थान में इस समय कोरोना का संक्रमण क्या फैला हुआ है? लोकल प्रशासन से अगर कोई जवाबदेही आई है कि इस तरह से इतनी बड़ी पंचायत का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किस तरीके से हुआ?
देखिए बाकी डिस्ट्रिक्ट की तरह करौली के अंदर भी संक्रमण फैला हुआ और 3 दिन से वहाँ पर केसेस भी ज्यादा आ रहे हैं। ये जो गैदरिंग हुई है ये भीड़ 5 से ज्यादा, करौली में भी ये रूल है कि 5 से ज्यादा लोग इकट्ठे नहीं हो सकते किसी भी जगह पे। उसके बावजूद करौली के अंदर एक डैम का मुद्दा है, पानी छोड़ने को लेकर वहाँ के जो लोकल किसान है वो डिमांड कर रहे थे कि पानी पहले उन्हें दिया जाए, उसके बाद में जो दूर के किसान हैं उनको दिया जाए। इसी को लेकर कर्नल किरोड़ी सिंह बैसला जो गुर्जर आंदोलन करने के लिए जाने जाते हैं, उन्होंने ये पंचायत आयोजित की और भीड़ इकट्ठी की है और उसके बाद में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने कोई रोकने की कोशिश नहीं की, न पुलिस ने। आप पूरी पंचायत में आप तस्वीरों में देखेंगे तो कहीं आपको पुलिस नजर नहीं आएगी, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से कहीं नजर नहीं आएंगे। तो वायलेशन किया गया और ये इनको ये पता होते हुए कि इससे वायरस फैल सकता है, लेकिन ध्यान नहीं रखा। जी,
Thank you, Bhavani, for getting us all the very important details on this story. So, these cases keep coming in where the social distancing norms are not followed, and the experts are pointing out that sometime in late July, India is likely to hit the peak. Now, the nationwide tally has crossed 3 lakh mark with a record number of 11,000 new cases in a single day across India. Maharashtra alone accounts for more than 1 lakh of the total cases. India is the fourth worst affected nation across the world. The silver lining is that India's doubling time has improved to 17 days from the earlier 15.4 days a couple of weeks ago. The recovery rate has also increased to 49.9%, about 50%. There is currently over 1,54,000 recoveries and over 1,45,000 active cases. So the active cases are less than the recovered patients. The central government has asked states to pay special attention to the emerging epicenters and focus on the containment measures in these areas. Along with that, the states have been asked to ramp up testing, tracing, upgrade the health infrastructure and improve clinical management. Prime Minister Modi will also be holding a video conference with all the chief ministers next week for consultations on the emerging situation on the ground and also how the lockdown is faring in different parts of the country. The increasing number of cases, of course, is a point of concern.